Hi, this is IK. Welcome to no order of rendering. It is application React application, data coming from a mock server, and when I refresh homepage, refresh homepage, I have a blog post menu left finished rendering, and look at right. It is console log. Already. Okay. Blog post menu finished up finished rendering, and here it is. And blog post menu left finished rendering. I let's go to focus. See, I have here this is application index.js. Index.js. When application start, a root object root call method render, and that rendering go like we coding here in browser router element. React element is inside we create router. And look at here is we create that when application start, first path, this path, element app, application app, start rendering. It's starting rendering. And that rendering of app, look at when we must be open up, component must open. When rendering starts, this component app, and rendering start, we have in return, look at this element, blog post menu left. And to that pass post, props post. It is a state from app component to blog post menu left component. And here we have use effect and asynchronous connection and connection to mock server for data. It means when app start rendering, it is initial rendering. When finished initial rendering, component did mount will activate this, because first initial rendering go down, overuse effect, don't use effect, and coming here, must render it, and start rendering blog post menu left, look at it, blog post menu left, also initial, it means not call use effect. Component did mount will call use effect. And this we skip use effect in initial component. And we have what we have here. It is left side. But without use effect, we have not data. We have no post is a state what we fetch data from mock in app. Look at here, in app, but we skip use effect in initial. We use effect on the end. Component did mount, and first rendering, initial rendering, include rendering of this component. And also, look at, there is no post because we skip use in a second rendering. Use effect activated component did mount activate use effect will be post. But first must be first rendering and finished rendering child component. And this initial rendering go here, render it the block post menu left, but skip use block post menu left, skip use effect, and initial rendering go to blog post menu because of root. Root at first rendering up. Initial rendering include blog post menu left. And the initial rendering blog post after initial rendering go ahead, and we have blog post menu rendering because it is in app.js, there is a blog post menu left, but also there is an outlet. And in that outlet is blog post menu. Blog post menu. It means we have rendering up, blog post menu left, and here is blog post menu because of index, this root included in index element. The blog post menu is included in a home page in this path. It means app have directly blog post menu left in app, and because of this root in outlet, we have blog post menu. It means that we spoke about three components: topic app.js, blog post menu left, and blog post menu. Initial value don't activate use effect, not activate use effect in any of that three components. It is initial rendering. And there is an initial state, it is empty array post. In every component app.js, in every component, I incorporate this alert app.js finished rendering, and in alert it is app.js, okay, and console log I stay here behind the initial state. Console log we will see value of state. Here is in app. It means after use effect, I have alert, and here is console log for to see posts. It is in every of that three. Blog post menu left also. A console is below this declaration state, and the alert is inside of effect, use effect. And the blog post menu also. Blog post menu blog post menu also console below post declaration state, and alert here below use effect in body of arrow function blog post menu. And when I start, I will see alert. I will see what happened between alert and after every alert, and I see console log. Let's go to see. Let's go to see here. Refresh. Look at the blog post menu left finished rendering, because first must be finished rendering child, but it is initial. It is initial rendering. Blog post menu left, of course, start up. You look at right. Up, we will see console log up. It means that console log start rendering, and go to blog post menu left rendering, blog post menu left. All that console log would be empty array in app, because you don't activate use effect. Use effect, inside use effect, we fetch data from a mock server. In initial value, it is not happen. It is interesting that here we have not, we cannot look separately every component, but we see that after blog menu left finished rendering, we expect blog menu finished rendering. Okay. Blog post menu. Look at blog post menu finished rendering. It means initial rendering of app is in flow. It is continuously in, and now when I click OK, app finished rendering. It again, initial, at first we start app rendering. App rendering, there is a child menu post left rendering, child, initial rendering. And there is no data. We fetch data in app.js, and the child, there is no. And after that, child menu left, there is no data, because app.js don't use effect. It is initial rendering. After initial rendering, we have a blog post menu, and after that, app. Okay, and here it is. Again, I have problems with connection to I repair it and continue this video. Okay, here it is. Refresh. Blog post menu left, but right, we see that app.js start because we have console log from app. And blog post menu left and blog post menu blog post menu left finished rendering. And we, with code, we go inside blog post menu on top of the code, and it is 0 also, empty array, console log. And after this blog post menu left finished rendering, blog post menu finished rendering, and app finished rendering. It is order of child, first child and second app. But in right, all this is empty because it is initial rendering, and we have finished initial rendering. Now, blog post menu left must component did mount and start use effect but component without a use effect of app.js, we cannot have data on menu left. Okay. And now, block post menu left, finished rendering because use effect. But after that, we will stop here. Now, block post menu left, block post menu again, app.js go to re-render, use effect, and block post menu left after that, but because of asynchron connection and waiting time, here app.js there is a data. There is a data, but block post menu left there is no data because asynchron connection we must wait, but parallel synchron code go ahead, and we have block post menu left re-rendering without empty, and again when app.js finally fetch data and Immutable updated, we have re-rendering block post menu left because block post menu left is dependent about post, dependency about post. And here is, I get focus on that. In that three components, console log post, here it is block post menu, is below declaration of post. And it is block post menu. Block post menu left, also console log is here. It is 6 row, number 6. Block post menu is number 8. And up, block post menu left, and app.js console is 11. And let's go to see here. Okay, with start application start root object root dot render method and render go ahead, like we order it in root element by root element. And here is first start app, and there is an empty array left. You see empty array. It is what we control, console log. We control that array, that state. App start. After that, start block post left menu. Also array empty, block post menu, array empty. After that, block post menu left, activate use effect because child must go first, and app is started. But use effect now call child, and use effect block post menu left that have not data because by props coming from app, data coming from app, and the app did not does use effect and asynchronous connection, there is no data. And block post menu left is empty, array empty. And now we have data first time when block post menu, because block post menu take data separate, not depend about app. And the block post menu now, when use effect, when re-render, when use effect and asynchron connect Axios get data, blog post menu, there is a data. Look at three posts in array, and after that start re-rendering, start use effect in app, and here show in app it is 11 row. There is a 3 post in array coming, but blog post menu left is empty, but app is full, and the child is empty because blog post menu app go asynchron, and the application of React didn't wait for finished asynchronous process. No, but go ahead and re-rendering go ahead in blog post menu left, and blog post menu left don't see post from app, from parent, and when a C after that post is visible in blog post menu left, and because of that there is a re-rendering, because blog post menu left depends about post, and the last two blog post menu left means first time empty array, and the second time, because of visibility of post of parents, second time we have blog post menu left full of array. And you see what you must know. Without this, you cannot create a React application. It is without Redux, it is without Tank, it is only React. React application what fetch data from a mock server, from a remote server. It means it fetch by Axios.get, Axios library, get method, and always is include promise object who have method 10, and it's all. And look at the dependency. Blog post menu left is dependent about post. And here is interesting that asynchron process in app need time, but synchron process don't wait that time. Synchron process go ahead. And because blog post menu left at first was empty, and after that re-rendering, because is dependent about changes post, and post is changed finally, and blog post menu left is re-rendering. Now you must know that for example, next video will be about this outlet. Here is a blog post menu left, a blog post menu left lay in app.js. This is app.js, and by props take by this props post equal post state from parent. But in outlet we have blog post or blog post menu, and in this application we have I don't use this props equal, And after that, it props what go in component, what changes here in outlet. It is a single post and all post, single post, all post, depend what we click. And we click in link for single post, we see that post. And if we want to know now include this possibility and code by this solution, and now we must know rendering, order of rendering. Like now that we understand order of rendering. And in this configuration, in this coding is only blog post, menu left, received props, but two component, what coming in outlet, there is open asynchronous contact. And if I succeed in coding by this outlet props, by outlet it go to a component blog post menu and blog post, single post, blog post. And that component, we have props post from this component, post. And we don't need asynchronous connection. It is a big save of resource. Why contact server 3 times if we can contact server only one in app and not 3 times? For a read component, I decided it is out of app component. It is not child of app component. And I continue to, for that read component, continue to take that data directly from mock server. And it means that in all application, I will have two connection to server instead of now 4. 2 and 4. See a big difference. Thank you for watching this video. Analyze, stay, learn in this application. See about order of rendering, and try to record this application by use props in outlet and post equal post, and create correction of code in blog post menu and blog post. Thank you for watching this video.